You are looking live at the opening night of the Republican Convention. On stage right now, Mark Geist and John Teagan, two of the Benghazi Annex security team, two brave Americans who tried to fight off the Islamic terrorists who sadly killed 4 Americans. This programming reminder again for you that Newsmax TV is your home for coverage of the Republican Convention. This Wednesday and Thursday, we will have full coverage of the evening activities in Cleveland. Ed Berliner will begin our coverage at 7 p.m., and then I will be here on the anchor desk beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern to take our convention coverage for the rest of the evening. We will have the key speeches, the acceptance speeches of Mike Pence for Vice President, Donald Trump for President, Steve Malzberg, Dennis Michael Lynch, other guests, and your calls. That'll be Wednesday and Thursday evening, beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on Newsmax TV. Tonight in Cleveland, cops are on edge, not only protecting the GOP convention goers, but also protecting themselves in the wake of the police shootings in both Dallas and Baton Rouge. Ohio is an open carry state for firearms, and there have been calls for Governor John Kasich to limit that right around the convention center. The governor says he cannot do that constitutionally. Our John Bachman has more.
Roll call vote! Roll call vote!
Tension inside the convention, tension outside. Fortunately, not as much as some had feared.
It's just not responsible.
Nothing's going to happen because I'm not going to be doing anything stupid.
Mixed in with the protesters and demonstrators in Cleveland, firearms out in the open, all perfectly legal in Ohio. But not everyone thinks it's such a good idea.
It's legal to bring your guns, but it's not responsible.
Detective Steve Loomis, president of Cleveland's largest police union.
He's asked that the governor suspend the open carry law during the convention.
You don't want them doing it. You don't want them exercising their quote-unquote right.
Absolutely not. That makes for mayhem.
Loomis's plea to Ohio Governor John Kasich.
Our hearts and prayers go out to their families.
Comes after police officers in Baton Rouge and Dallas were gunned down.
I'm looking at 3 dead cops this week, and I'm looking at 5 last year. You trying to tell me to keep it down?
That is one of the concerns, says Loomis. Another copycat who might try to target cops protecting protesters, and then the potential of open carry confusion that would follow.
In hindsight 2020, I could have easily been shot.
That's what happened to Mark Hughes in Dallas. He was named a suspect before he was cleared. Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown even getting involved, urging Ohioans to leave their weapons at home. He said Kasich should have called a special session to suspend Ohio's open carry rule, but he refused. Everyone now hopes that was the right call.
I didn't come out here to open carry to rub it in anybody's face or stir up any sort of trouble.
This is the statement from the Ohio governor's office today. Quote, Ohio governors do not have the power to arbitrarily suspend federal and state constitutional rights or state laws as suggested. So there you go, JD. Governor John Kasich saying, nope, we cannot suspend the open carry rules. Everybody does hope that is the best course of action. We're hoping everybody stays safe. JD, back to you.
Thanks very much, John. So now it's time to talk to you about this first night of the Republican Convention. And let's do so by going to the phones at 1-877-NEWSMAX. That's 1-877-639-7629. And first up, this is great. My old stomping grounds, Phoenix, Arizona. Ruthie is on the line. Ruthie, welcome to Newsmax Prime.
Hello.
Hi, Ruthie.
Hi. This is for Mr. Trump and all. Mr. Trump is the best thing that has happened to America. He is intelligent, brave, and speaks his mind. Police shootings, heartbreaking, and other innocent people, heartbreaking. Mr. Trump, I am confident that he will make America great and safe again.
And Ruthie, let me ask you this, if you're still in the line. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
And he has a big job ahead of him. Go get them, Mr. Trump.
Let me ask you this, Ruthie. Do you like Mike Pence as the vice presidential selection?
Yes.
Good. Well, it's good to hear you're all in out there in Arizona. Always good to hear from Phoenix. Now let's go further west to Astoria, California, where Preston is on the phone. Preston, welcome to Newsmax Prime.
Hey, JD, I love you. I love Newsmax. I watch it every day. I would like to say one thing that, first of all, 2016, Trump up or tap out. And I'm a disabled veteran from Vietnam. And I was a private investigator for 20 years. And the first thing I did, the first thing I learned as a private investigator was to go ahead and stick both of my arms out the car when I got pulled over to assure that the police officers knew that they didn't have nothing to be feared of from me. And I hope that this might help other people by letting them know that there's one way to solve some of these problems by putting your arms outside the car so they can see you're not armed. And I thank you so much.
And I thank you very much, Preston, for the call tonight from California. Back to Arizona. It is good to hear from the home folks. Down to Buckeye, right there outside of Phoenix, and that's where Tony is on the telephone. Hi, Tony.
How you doing, JD?
Good to have you on, sir.
Yes, just a quick thing. I just wanted to make a comment on these so-called delegates that don't want to vote for Trump. All they have to do is leave the Republican Party and do whatever, because we don't need them there. They don't want to. You still there?
Yes, I'm listening attentively to everything you're saying, Tony. And, you know, there was a big dust-up in Arizona where some delegates who had problems with Trump actually resigned their delegate status and did not go to the convention. You're basically saying if it was good enough for Arizona, it ought to be good enough for these delegates from other states who apparently are disillusioned with Mr. Trump's nomination, correct?
Yeah, they should just leave. They don't have no business call themselves Republicans. They need to go.
All right, Tony, we sure appreciate your point of view, and keep everybody in line down in Buckeye, and call us again real soon. Well, let's go back to my native state of North Carolina. Pine Bluff's the place where Tiffany is on the line. Tiffany, how are things there in Moore County?
It's pretty hot down here. How are you?
We're doing fine, Tiff, and we sure appreciate you taking time to call us. What's on your mind? I understand you might have a little different take than what Tony just had to say.
I got a lot of different takes than what he does. I want to know, did Donald Trump have to read the Statue of Liberty to become a presidential candidate? Because it says, you're tired, you're hungry, you're weak, and you're huddled masses.
Yeah, it says, give us your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to be free, but it does not say, let them come without papers and documentation. And laws mean something. Article 4, Section 4, it doesn't? So the inscription on the Statue of Liberty means more than the Constitution. Excuse me?
Are we a free country?
We are a free country for citizens and for those who want to come here lawfully. People who want to come here lawfully. So you believe anybody should be able to come in with no documentation?
I didn't say that.
Well, you just said.
They should have to have some documentation, yes, but people should also be able to find refuge here. We are the only free country in America.
Yes, and there are laws on the books, Tiffany. Tiffany, there are laws on the books to allow political refugees. Now, the problem comes when people, such as the current administration, try to expand the definition of refugees to let people who are not truly refugees come in. And the problem is when you fail to vet those refugees. And I just wonder, Tiffany, would you be happy, would you like to have Mr. Obama bring thousands of refugees from Syria to Moore County to be your neighbor, in Pine Bluff?
If they were here, then we'd feed them. We'd feed them. We love people. We'd feed them.
So okay, well, you're on record, Tiffany. You and all your neighbors want Syrian refugees. I thank you for your call, Tiffany. It's a lively debate, and we certainly appreciate your perspective, although I don't think too many people agree with it. But debate is lively. We appreciate it. And Tiffany, I do hope you will call again. Well, that will do it for tonight. Again, we do welcome your calls at 1-877-NEWSMAX. And I did appreciate that call from Tiffany because we have things called laws in the Constitution as opposed to mere inscriptions on statues. Thanks so much for being with us. Our coverage of the convention will continue tomorrow night. Dennis Michael Lynch is next. Till tomorrow, stay brave, stay free, stay tuned, and thanks.